Geovital, we're originally a naturopathic health clinic based in Austria. And over the last 35 years we've specialized in environmental medicine because we worked out that we can do wonderful work in the clinic and prop people up in a natural way, but if we didn't go to their homes and fix their bedrooms where the body actually does the resting and the fixing when you sleep, we were fighting an uphill battle you just can't win. People 6 months, 12 months later come back with similar complaints. So for the last 35 years we are now far more involved in going to people's houses, mostly existing houses of people with chronic health issues that conventional medicine has a bit of trouble making headway with. And also athletes that are working really hard during the day and want to maximize that time of the day that the body actually does the repairing and the increasing of the performance. But increasingly so, we're involved with more and more homes that are newly being built, which is really exciting because it's like a blank canvas. By making small changes in the design of the house, we can make it not just to fit the look and the lifestyle, but also be a healthy place to be. Well, we identified that there were 3 subjects that had the single biggest impact on our patients' lives, health-wise. Those were electronic pollution, that is the wiring from the power lines running through the street, which nobody thinks about. Of course, the transmission lines are a problem, but the little ones on the street can already be a serious burden. Anybody watching this, you got to measure this before you buy any piece of land. Don't sign anything without having measured for magnetic fields. Electric fields comes from wiring that has voltage in it. As a field comes out about 2 meters in distance, 50 hertz a second. Your body's got electrical receptors in every cell. You can't expect to park a spring-filled mattress against the wall with wiring in it and expect to rest and regenerate properly. And so that's electronic pollution. The other subject is geopathic stress, that's excesses of natural radiation. And the third subject were the mattresses that people slept on. So for the last 35 years, our approach has been to go into homes, investigate those things and mitigate those situations. And so in a new built home, the wiring is where we can do very simple and such meaningful work with, to avoid this electric field exposure that we just get inundated with in a normal home. Then there's the issue of radio frequency radiation, which of course is completely out of control and only getting worse. That's our mobile phone towers. Right? We had 2G, 3G, 4G. They don't turn off the old stuff, right? Because people still want to use their old phones as well. And now 5G is slowly already being introduced into Australia. The frequency's ever higher. And yeah, I don't want to bore you with the details, but there's research showing, for example, it triggers the sympathetic nervous system, which causes vasoconstriction. That's where your blood pressure goes up when you're on the mobile phone. Your digestion suffers because that's what the parasympathetic nervous system does, your fight and flight response. There's research on diabetes markers going up in schools where they're near to a mobile phone tower. The list is endless. If you're curious, look up the Bioinitiative report at bioinitiative.org, which was put together by 22 PhDs who investigated the available research. And so anyway, we go in and make, together with the designer and the builder, just small changes to the wiring. The mobile phone tower radiation shielding can be incorporated, and in my experience 7 years ago when we were doing that, people wanted us to take a measurement on site and based on that decide to put shielding in or not. The people I deal with now, they realize this stuff only ever gets worse. I'm building now, I'm not building 3 years from now, let's just get it over with. Because for the price of a swimming pool, you could shield your house, and it is arguably the most important function that your house is going to have, isn't it? It's got to keep you warm, it's going to keep you dry, it's got to keep the burglars out, and how about keeping you healthy? Nobody looks at it, or very few people do. And we're dealing with some builders now that are picking up on this trend, which is developing faster overseas. People that are having their house shielded and end up selling it, end up fetching a larger sum for it because people are looking for shielded houses. And some of the builders we work with, which is really exciting, is that they've quoted on jobs to do for architects. And the client has said, but oh, hang on, we want shielding in our house. And all the builders go, what's that? And our guys go, no problem. we have partners with Geovital, and that's why they landed this $2-3 million home to build. So it's a trend that's coming. It's you know, you can get involved early and get your expertise now and say no problem, or you can be, you know, that person that, you know, is trying to catch up with the trend later. Well, as I mentioned, predominantly we go to existing homes. We're increasingly busy with homes being built, but it's kind of a small part of our business, but a very exciting part. And so we had not yet gone to a sort of caliber show like DesignBUILD. And so I was very curious. I rang up, and you know, you never know, you know, what an expo like this is going to do for you business-wise. And anyway, you know, the budget a little tight at the moment. You know, can we justify? What are we going to get out of it? And then DesignBUILD, they forwarded and said, well, listen, what do you do? And I explained just like I did to you, and they went, you know, the eyes get big, and wow, that's really interesting. We have an incubator program. So we applied. You know, we sent some videos across, which you can find on our YouTube channel. And yeah, we were, you know, the panel picked us to have an incubator spot, which is absolutely lovely. Thank you very much. But I mean, we've only been here 3-4 hours, and our booth has been filled, and to my surprise, well, I'd say more than 50-60% of the people walking up have expressed a concern that, yes, you know, I'm worried about these phone towers, and I have heard of this, and I have a family member who's sensitive, and that sort of stuff. So I think it's safe to say we'll be back next year.